Miguel, Dirty Distaggio here, back at you after a bit of a long vacation there. Haven't done a video in like 4 days, although I was on vacation for like 8 days, so I did have a couple queued up. But figured, hey, it's Wednesday, you know what that means, Dirty Play. Hump Day is Dirty Play. So today, we're going to do a perfect Boss 3, and as you can see, I'm doing Boss 3 right now. See this? This is Boss 3. This is how Dirty does Boss 3. Essentially what we do is we let all of the non-heavy hitters attack that boss down, down, down. This allows the light and medium hitters to get some time in, to get some damage in. Get some damage in on that boss before the heavy hitters kick in and steal all the honor badges. The goal is for the light and medium hitters to get as many honor badges as possible, and allowing all of the heavy hitters getting the maximum honor badges, 14.3 thousand. So here's, I'm checking in on that boss. Here I'm just going to do a tap. This is all I'm doing, but I do want to show you my drop order. This is a tap just in case the boss slips by me and I don't get him at all. So I just tapped him there for 500,000, and I'm just waiting. I'm refreshing. You got to leave. You got to come back into the event. You got to leave. You got to come back in. Otherwise, the boss damage does not refresh live. You can't just sit there on the event screen. You have to wait. And what I'm waiting for, a magic number. 40 million. 40 million health. Guild Dirty is trying to push this as far as possible. We used to wait between 50 and 60 million health. We used to wait to 55 and then 50, 45, and now we're down to 40. I'm waiting for 40-ish, so between 40 and 45, because as you can see, it starts to drop really fast here. The maximum damage I can do is the amount of health that I see right there. See 47.1, 46.3, 46.3, 45.4, 45.4. It's coming down. I'm waiting just a little bit lower right there. Boom, 42 million. I saw 42, and that's a go time. So now I'm dropping in my chain. This is a perfect stun train almost. My last hero that I dropped is Minotaur. That's going to proc. Minotaur's going to proc and get a 2.5 second stun in. And then you see that boss slipped a little bit there? Just he moved just a tiny little bit. That starts to freak me out. So I pop in the invincible, and that just makes sure that if he does slip again, you know, right there at about 230, sometimes he slips too, just moves just a tiny little twitch, then I know I gotta go. So here's what we're gonna do now is I'm just gonna do ultra slow motion my drop. I start with Cupid on the far right. All I need to do is, by the way, 36 million damage. If I do 36 million damage, then I get maximum honor badges. And then I just drop everyone else. I start with Dryad, Thunder God, Champion, then Pumpkin Duke, and Minotaur. Once I drop Minotaur, that stun goes off, but you can see that he slips a little, meaning he moves just a little bit. That means the stun, see the stun came off him there for a split tiny second right there. And that is really dangerous, actually. That's really scary. Look at how many stunners I got. Thunder God, Champion, Minotaur, Dryad. I got 3 stunners. Sometimes I run Executioner in there instead of Thunder God. Either way, I try to get a solid lock there, and I know that these 6 heroes will give me at least the 42 million damage that I need to do in the 3 minutes. In fact, I believe these 6 do about 50 million damage. And so my goal here, though, is not to do a lot of damage. My goal is to do basically as close to 36 million damage as possible, because then I screw the rest of my guild the least. So this new boss with all this magic and stuff is very interesting. It's basically allow your heavy hitters to get the most honor badges possible, which means let them do 36 million damage each in a 3-minute or less stun train, while allowing the light and medium hitters the most amount of time possible to get the most percent damage done to the boss. That allows them to maximize honor badges, and essentially this is the perfect way, in my opinion, to do Boss 3. And seriously, I take absolutely no credit with devising this method. I did not devise this method, and just the whole Dirty Empire, when this Boss 3 came out, we all just shared notes. It was Motion, Dirty EU, Peon, Buried. And Buried and Peon are essentially doing Boss 1 and 2 before the update, so even low-level guilds in the Dirty Empire were really helping us. We all just sort of shared notes, and you know, Dirty EU, our European version, they kind of go first. Even one of our Smurf guilds, in fact, goes early in the day too, so that guild was even helping us. So a lot of people, as it's saying, DKMP, Uhaha, and Subzi, and just all of the heavy hitters, Macho Nerd, the Vigilante, Vig, Alessandro Spaghetti D, and just everyone was helping us out, man. It was awesome. It was like a team effort. Damage there, that's exactly what I wanted to do. That's pretty close to the 40 million target, and you can see there's at least 5 of us that got maximum honor badges the second I hit exit. Como White, Jared, myself, Macho Nerd, and Jab. So at least 5 of us. There could have been 10 of us. I'm not sure. I haven't gone into our line chat to check. And these are the bases of the other top 5. So Jared 2244 there, running around with those 6 heroes. Got that Immortip in there. Little bit of a stun. Get me that stun. And whenever you see buildings in the 4 corners like that, that basically to me tells me it's like a Here Be Monster Eye base. So Spirit Mage doesn't proc more than once. Como White, you see Como White's heroes here, you got the champ. And Snowzilla, does that have a heavy blow on it? I don't know. That's probably the only reason to use a Snowzilla at this point, unless you do need that to get up to the 36 million damage. Macho Nerd, I gotta ask you seriously, what the hell is up with this base? It is so dirty. I do like it. I'm not gonna lie to you at all. It's beautiful, in fact. But wow, does that work? I mean, that's pretty interesting. I can immediately tell why this base is potentially good. So I gotta talk to you later. Remind me. Jab, so Jab was in the top 5 there, doing like kind of a modified double D with a couple extra vaults there. Get that other vault to 18, by the way, and you'll be good. Definitely, what, farming H? Maybe close to farming H on that? I doubt that. That doesn't look like an I-base. And a couple others in the, not in the top 5, but ones that do a significant amount of damage, just grinding in and out, hit and running basically. Hit and run's nice now because you don't actually really have any risk of having to use tons of gems, and you can still get a lot of damage in there. And by the way, that Uhaha base right there, that double diamond, that's basically a Ronger Butterfly V2. That's an awesome base. That's an awesome base. Sub-Z, Sub-Senju, Dirty Empire, nice base there. That's actually that's a very well constructed, and I don't have a lot of time to go into the strat there, cause look who I saw in my queue, SandSeven. Oh, this just reminds me, guys, the problem with running 2 devices is the base save feature does not work very well, and so I very frequently log off with my Here Be Monster base, the Dirty Bastard base, up. This base ain't for sale. See that? I'm not like SandSeven, man. You can't. I'm not gonna pimp out nothing on my base except for Guild Dirty, of course, or the Dirty Empire. Sometimes I'll put some of the other Dirty Empire guilds up there, like Dirty, Dirty EU, Motion, Buried, Peon, Clean, sort of. And, you know, he almost soloed me with the Minotaur. Look how close he was, guys. I mean, seriously, for some reason I have full garrison, and I never have full garrison in. So, if I didn't have full garrison, he would have got me there. So, I thought that was a funny one. Okay, and why am I showing you all this raid defense? Well, that's because my next video, or one in the close future, is going to be on using one of your base saves on a defensive base against raiding. Why not? I mean, come on. Let's do it. Let's build one. Now here's kind of, in my opinion, one of the better designs I've come up with basically all of your buildings inside. Here was a paid raid gone wrong on me. That was Lee920. Now then, this is really interesting. So DKMP, who is Don't Kill Me Please, who is the leader of Guild Motion in the Dirty Empire, he accepted the challenge of attacking me. I kept de-shielding myself all night just to get some good footage, and he, if you look, go back to the beginning and look at that again, guys. Go back right now and look at what he did. But basically what he did was he dropped a bunch of Mecha Men first, and they distracted my towers because my towers had full garrison. And it does take my towers, even with full garrison, quite a few shots to take out a level 5 Mecha Men there. So I thought that was a pretty interesting strat. And then he just bloop, dropped all the rest of his heroes in, and boom! God Fuzzy is a goner. Nice work, DKMP. As always, keep it dirty and dirty up.